Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! Good morning, Descendants and Zombies fans. Everybody is wondering what's happening with Zombies 5. I too am wondering what's happening with Zombies 5 because there are rumors of the release window suggesting as late as 2028. Apparently, reportedly, people are being kicked out of Zombies 5. I am wondering that too, but I want to shut down the rumors of who's getting kicked out of Zombies 5. Nobody's getting kicked out of Zombies 5 or being removed from the cast. It's just Mike Donnelly and Milo Manheimer becoming executive producers for Zombies 5, which is what I'm really excited about because they now have creative control over the Zombies franchise. See, this is what I've been talking about for a very long time, is that people will try to create as many rumors as they can about Zombies 5 just to stir up conversation. And I'm here to help you make sense of everything Zombies and Descendants. If you subscribe and you like my videos, which many of you have been doing, showing your love and support for my videos, and I can't thank you enough for that. Because the reality of this is you could be on anybody else's YouTube channel watching their videos, subscribing to their channels, but you're not. You're here on this YouTube channel because you love the guy hosting the show and you love his videos, and I can't thank you enough for that. I want to shut the door on all the rumors that are being risen from Zombies 4's unprecedented success over the last couple of months. It's been incredible seeing Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires, go to the heights of unprecedentedness on Disney Plus, of course, getting over 250 million hours of stream time and going to #1. That is incredible. That is an honor. And I want to say thank you so much to everybody who was a part of Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires, for making it such a huge success. It was one of the greatest joys of my life, actually sitting down and watching that movie and having the opportunity to review it. I jumped on my show literally an hour after I watched Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires, because I wanted to be one of the first people to put up a video about a review of Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires, because I was so appreciative and so excited about this movie. Weeks before the movie premiered, I was counting down the days, much like all of you were, with your countdown videos and what have you, and I was uploading countdown shows on this YouTube channel of what to expect from Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires. We knew going into it, two groups were going to be a part of it, the Daywalkers and the Nightwalkers, the confliction over the blood fruit. We knew we were going to embark on a new franchise, and of course, that was going to be hosted by Malachi Burton and Freya Sky's characters, Victor and Nova, who you guys were saying looked adorable together, and I agreed with each and every one of you on that. I fully supported your vision for Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires, and the franchise that's up and coming. But I think that these critics really need to have the door shut on them and slammed, because in all honesty, you know, rumors about dating rumors between Meg Donnelly and Milo Manheim, that's been the conversation for forever. People are getting kicked out of Zombies 5 now, reportedly. Again, nobody is getting kicked out of Zombies 5. It's just rumors that people are trying to stir up conversation about and just to draw attention to their YouTube channels, and I never ever wanted to do that. If I wanted to talk about Zombies and Descendants, I was going to talk about Zombies and Descendants in a meaningful fashion, in a way that it was meant to be talked about, because I think these stars have received their fair share of criticism. If anything, Zombies gave these stars a chance and gave them their breakout roles. I know that Meg Donnelly, more than anything else in the world, wanted to be a part of this franchise because it was her chance to shine on Disney Channel, and man, did she ever get the opportunity to shine. I ultimately became the biggest fan of Meg Donnelly, and I'm going to be honest with each and every one of you. I think that Meg Donnelly has received her fair share of criticism, and we have to stop, because she did so much for the Zombies franchise, and she sacrificed so much. She came from a family that had no interest in acting whatsoever, no familiarity at all with the acting world, and she became one of the biggest superstars in the world for her music, for her desire to want to be an actress. She did everything possible within her power to become one of the greatest of all time, and even though she's not one of the greatest of all time, I think she will go down as one of the greatest of all time, and I'm here to make sure that happens. I'm here to make sure all your favorite zombie stars go down in history for being some of the greatest of all time, because that's what I've wanted to be all of my life, is the greatest of all time. And while that may be a long way away from ever happening, I know that I can get there with the support of the Descendants and Zombies universe. Because one thing that I quickly realized about the Descendants and Zombies fans were, they were forever and always supportive of me. From the very first video that was uploaded here on this YouTube channel so many years ago, you guys were supportive of me, and when you could have quit on me, you didn't. You saw the good in me before anyone else ever did who may have watched my videos, and this was an incredibly supportive niche whose love is unconditional. And that's the thing about Descendants and Zombies fans. They don't care who you are. They don't care what's wrong with you, what's going on in your own life, as long as you go out of your way to upload Descendants and Zombies videos for them every day of their life. And that's all they want. They want you to help them make sense of what's going on with Zombies and Descendants when they don't really know what's happening, because so many people are filling their heads up with so many false rumors and false speculations on zombies and Descendants. Let me tell you this. If you want to believe that mermaids are going to happen by Zombies 5, then believe mermaids are going to happen by Zombies 5. If you think it's going to be pirates, then think it's going to be pirates. Have fun with it. Because 4 years is a long time, I know, but 4 years will give me a chance to attract a lot more Descendants and Zombies fans. There are hundreds of thousands of Descendants and Zombies fans who have yet to discover this YouTube channel, and I have a lot of friends to meet, and I'm really excited about it. If you're somebody new here on this YouTube channel, thank you so much for recently subscribing. It's an honor to know you, and it's an honor to have you here. And because it's an honor to have you here, I'm going to provide you with the best commentaries possible about Descendants and Zombies. You know, Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires opened up with this very powerful song called Legends in the Making, and it was a song that really put into perspective how a person's legacy is defined through their actions and the decisions they make throughout the course of their lifetime. Because after we're dead and gone and we're no longer here, what we leave behind is a legacy. And we spend all of our lives trying to cement that. And that's really what puts my life into perspective, is that song. Because if there's one song that reminds me of what I went through in my lifetime, it has to be Legends in the Making. A lot of you like the song Place to Be. I agree with that too, because that song's a very powerful song that really illustrates how important life is also. But I think Legends in the Making is a song that really reminds me of what I want to achieve out of this lifetime. And really it's a legacy to go down in history for being one of the greatest of all time. And if that lives through my thoughts on Descendants and Zombies, then so be it. I'm fine with that. I'm cool with that. Because we are all here because of Descendants and Zombies. You clicked on this thumbnail, you're watching this video because you're a fan of Descendants and Zombies. So why am I going to take away the credibility of Meg Donnelly, the credibility of Freya Skye, the credibility of Malachi Burton, who still have a long ways to go? I mean, Freya Skye will be 16 years old in October. Her birthday falls the day after Ruby Rose Turner's birthday, so we have back-to-back birthday celebrations in actually just a couple of weeks. And I'm inviting you to join me for those because I'm really excited about that, honestly, because last year, I know my Ruby Rose Turner videos about her birthday got a lot of reviews, and it was a year before, of course, Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires. We knew that Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires was coming. We just didn't know what kind of script it was going to detail. But I really thought that this script was probably the most powerful script that we had ever seen for a zombies movie ever, because in each zombies movie we had supernatural creatures debuting. By Zombies 2, werewolves, by Zombies 3, aliens, and then by Zombies 4, the obvious vampires. But we didn't know what was going to happen from one installment to the next. That was what was really appreciative of me for the Zombies franchise, was that you were left in cliffhanging moments, because every Zombies movie had a teaser of what was going to happen next. In the Descendants movies, they kind of just left you wondering if in fact there would be a new Descendants movie. There was never something setting up for the next movie at the end of every movie, as there was for Zombies. Like, remember at Zombies 2, at the end of the movie when Addison's hair started to glow, and then we were building up the aliens, seeing their introduction into the franchise. I remember that. I remember everything that happened, and then of course Zombies 4, now with this vortex, we're wondering what's going to happen in Zombies 4. What is exactly inside of that vortex? Well, I would be able to tell you if in fact I did encounter a vortex in my lifetime. Now, I've encountered a lot of really messed up situations in my lifetime. I've been involved in a lot of really messed up situations. I've lived with guys who I thought were werewolves, dated girls who thought they were vampires, and you haven't lived until you do either one of those things. But I have never encountered a vortex. Now, mind you, I would love to encounter a vortex. I would love to jump inside of a vortex. As much as they are associated with doom and the end of time, I would love to jump inside of a vortex. If I could have jumped inside of this thing and found out what was inside of it and came back and told you all on my show, I would have done it. Which is why I'm putting it out there that if they want someone to kick a whole lot of ass by the time we get to Zombies 5, I will gladly do that. Because I think that these movies have received their fair share of criticism, and they are so undeserving of it. When you have stars like Freya Skye and Malachi Burton really trying to bring this to life and really bring the best out of everybody they work with, why are they being criticized? Well, I think it has a lot to do with jealousy. I will forever say that it has a lot to do with jealousy, because these people who are criticizing it are not in the positions that Freya Skye and Malachi Burton are to take over. And I mean, when you are promoting a movie such as Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires, coming off the success of it, you want nothing but the best for the future of the franchise, because the responsibility of carrying on the legacies of these franchises are on the shoulders now of people that nobody's ever heard tell of before. So there's a lot of pressure that goes with that. But I have every reason to believe that Malachi Burton and Freya Skye are going to do a fabulous job. In all my years in theater, I've seen so many people feel the pressure of stage productions. Now, I know stage productions are a far cry from what happens on Disney and Nickelodeon. But there's a lot of pressure because it's about the audience and how the audience is going to perceive you. The audience is going to love you. They're going to let you know about it. If they're going to hate you, they're also going to let you know about it. And either way sometimes can be very, very nerve-wracking. But the best piece of advice I've ever given to anybody before going out on stage for a stage production like Romeo and Juliet and Phantom of the Opera was always be yourself no matter what. And however the audience feels about you, they're going to let you know about it. If they love you, they're going to let you know about it. If they hate you, they're also going to let you know about it. And it's really nerve-wracking. But the thing is, if you want it, you have to go for it because we only have one life to live. And that's what the song Legends in the Making did for me. It really helped me put into perspective what I wanted to get the most out of my life. And for being one of the greatest of all time, I know that's a dream that's really far out there. But I know that I can achieve that because of each and every one of you. You know, the songs from Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires really put life into perspective because one can really find true love even if it isn't a dream that you have every night, a reoccurring dream. And that's what happened for Victor and Nova. They saw each other in their dreams and they finally had the opportunity to meet each other. Sunny shied, Sadie shied. It was just a beautiful script. It was a beautiful, beautiful script that was very different from any other script that Zombies ever brought forth. I mean, in every movie, it was almost like Addison was trying to figure out her true identity. By Zombies 2, she had something to do with werewolves. By Zombies 3, she had something to do with aliens. And she was every supernatural creature, the embodiment of every supernatural creature in every movie. By Zombies 2, we thought Zed and Addison were going to break up for forever. And I remember that song called Somewhere I Belong. It was a beautiful song. It was the first time they had ever broken up and confliction had arisen in their relationship. And we didn't know what was going to happen with everything happening with the werewolves and stuff like that. But every plot in Zombies was so basic. And then by Zombies 4, with a 3-year wait window for it between 2022 and 2025 because of everything happening with the pandemic, they did such a fantastic job. And they also shot an animated series from their homes for Disney Channel during the pandemic. So they really demonstrated a lot of great work ethic. And I think that was overshadowed by so much criticism by people. You know, rumor after rumor about relationships, so much criticism about it, saying Zombies should have never happened. It was just a mere copycat off Descendants. I think Zombies should have been in a class of its own, in a category of its own, because it really represented second chances. It really represented hope for a lot of people. I know it represented hope for me, because I had a very difficult life. In high school, I was bullied every day of my life. Everything that a person could have had done to them, I had done to me. So I saw myself in a lot of the moments in Zombies where people couldn't find acceptance and they were striving for acceptance. But at the end of every Zombies movie, one way or another, whoever was striving for acceptance achieved it. The torch was passed in Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires, so significantly. I was really hoping that in Descendants we would see a moment where the torch would have been passed to new characters from Dove Cameron and Sophia Carson to Kylie Cantrell and Millie Baker, but it never happened. But in this movie we saw a significant moment where Meg Donnelly and Milo Manheim passed the torch, really stepping down from everything they had offered us in the Zombies franchise. I will say this. I will forever miss Meg Donnelly. I will forever be in love with Meg Donnelly. When I was going through some of the most difficult times of my life, Meg Donnelly is what helped me make sense of it all. Because in 2018, I was going through a real rough patch. I just lost my dad, and then Disney comes out with Zombies. And Zombies really helped me put my life back together. You guys, having the honor to meet each and every one of you, really helped me put my life back together. And if not for Descendants and Zombies, I don't know where I'd be. I'd probably be talking about something on YouTube this morning that wouldn't make a whole lot of sense to a whole lot of people. Because believe you me, I really do love doing commentaries. And I think it's a far more effective way to speak from your heart about Descendants and Zombies than it ever is writing down pre-written notes or compiling pre-written statements. I never do that. Even for interviews that I did years ago, I would never have cue cards in front of me with notes on how to ask questions. I always believe that when you did an interview and you did a commentary, you just speak from your heart with an open heart and an open mind, and however everybody feels about it, they're going to let you know about it. You're going to get comments, you're going to get likes, and I always believe in growing a YouTube channel organically and respectively. So this YouTube channel is far from fake subscribers and fake videos. It's just a guy hosting the show with his opinions about Descendants and Zombies in them. And I'm just as big of a fan of Descendants and Zombies as each and every one of you. Do I know what's going to happen in Descendants and Zombies? No. I don't know what's going to happen from one moment to the next in Descendants and Zombies, but I think it makes it for an exciting time to be a fan of Descendants and Zombies, and I've never wanted to tear down your hopes and dreams for Descendants and Zombies like many people try to do on their YouTube channels. They are saying all the time they need to stop making Descendants and Zombies movies. If anything, they don't need to stop making Descendants and Zombies movies. They need to go full throttle with this, because these franchises are some of the most highly successful franchises in Disney Channel's history. Because in Disney Channel's history, we've seen a lot of things come and go. Hannah Montana, High School Musical, after a trilogy, High School Musical says goodbye. It's revamped as a TV series with Kylie Cantrell, but if not for Kylie Cantrell being in it, would it have been as successful? I don't think so. Would we have seen stuff done with Hannah Montana years later? No, because I think that Disney was in this situation where they couldn't get past 4 seasons or trilogies. And I think now Descendants of Zombies is the first franchise that has exceeded the expectations of everybody. Initially, it was planned to just be a trilogy for Disney, with Kenny Ortega signed on to do a trilogy for Descendants, with Dove Cameron and Sophia Carson having their first major breakout roles as movie stars. I really think that Disney was intending this to be a trilogy, but because of just how popular it became, they decided, okay, after a 5-year hiatus, let's bring it back and see what happens. Plus, Disney had all these new stars like Ruby Rose Turner and Kylie Cantrell. They were really trying to get the most out of them. This was the perfect opportunity for them to do it. And I think they really brought Descendants for The Rise of Red to life in a way that nobody else would have ever been able to do it, which makes us even more excited about Descendants 5 Wicked Wonderland happening sometime between now and next July. Next summer is going to be a real fun time to be a fan of Descendants, and I'm excited to be a part of it. I really am. I'm really excited to be here covering it for you guys, and I give you my word that I'm going to do the absolute best of everything in my power to talk about Descendants of Zombies in a way that I believe it's meant to be talked about for a very long time. Because when you're talking about Descendants of Zombies, there's a certain pride that goes with talking about Descendants of Zombies. I've always believed that. And if you don't have that certain pride or that passion with you, behind you in your heart, talking about Descendants of Zombies, then everything you're saying is not going to make a whole lot of sense to a whole lot of people. Do I think Descendants 5 is going to be the best story that we've seen in the Descendants franchise? I think we have every reason to believe it's going to be the best story in the franchise. Do I think that we have every reason to doubt ourselves? No, I don't think so. I think that the critics are making us doubt ourselves about Descendants 5 and the future of the franchise. But if we shy away from the criticism and replace it with good vibes and good thoughts about Descendants and Zombies, then I think we have everything to look forward to and every reason to be excited about Descendants 5 Wicked Wonderland. That's all I've tried to do with these videos, is try to help you make sense of everything Descendants and Zombies. While people will say that people are getting kicked out of the Zombies franchise, while people will say this person is dating that person, there's a relationship happening between Kylie Cantrell and Malia Baker, which I think is really ridiculous, because they are just really good friends. I think that people are just trying to really stir up conversation and really trying to draw attention to their YouTube channels, which is completely unnecessary, and I'm not here to do that. You know, if you want to subscribe to this YouTube channel, you can subscribe to this YouTube channel, and you can join me on this incredible journey, because this is really what this has been. This has been a journey where I've discovered myself and rediscovered a passion that I never ever thought in a million years I'd be sitting on a show this morning talking about. I never ever thought I'd be making this many videos about Descendants of Zombies. Over 350 videos just about have been uploaded here on this YouTube channel, and it really has been an honor of mine to be able to review Descendants of Zombies in a way I think it's been meant to be reviewed for a very long time. And I'm going to do my absolute best to make sure that great videos are always uploaded here on this YouTube channel for each and every one of you, because you have deserved to hear nothing but the best for far long enough now. And I've just wanted to replace all the criticism for Descendants of Zombies with great reviews. Well, I've missed Ruby Rose Turner. I will forever miss Ruby Rose Turner being a part of the Descendants franchise. And I don't know how they produced Descendants 5 without Ruby Rose Turner. They did it because of Liamani Segura, and she is somebody who I'm really looking forward to this summer to meet, because I think she's going to present a lot of conflict into the story, and new storylines will obviously be created. And I think that more than one chapter is going to be needed to examine the relationship between Red and Pink, because now, of course, Pink is a consequence of time travel, and that's something I'm really looking forward to, are the consequences of time travel and altering the fabric of time, because one can't expect to mess with the fabric of time and not expect consequences. That is so true, because time that we are allocated, it's all about how we spend that time, because the thing about time is it always runs out and we can't get it back. So what would we do if we were in possession of a pocket watch? I think I would go back in time and try to fix some of the mistakes that I made, so I don't hold Red and Chloe accountable for any mistakes they may have made producing Descendants. I think that they wanted to go back in time to really see what they could do to really change their mother's opinion on life, because, I mean, she was so evil and a villain that got on our nerves. But if you think about the history of the Queen of Hearts, that was what she was created to do. She was created with the sole purpose of getting on all of our nerves, and she really did get on our last nerve. And I really agree with everybody who believed that the Queen of Hearts was just somebody that was just so annoying. But Rita Ora's portrayal of the Queen of Hearts was a very different Queen of Hearts. It wasn't the Queen of Hearts I remembered growing up watching. I remember watching Alice in Wonderland years ago and being in love with that franchise because just how colorful it was, how so full of life it was, how curious Alice was. So even Alice in Wonderland character, even Alice's daughter, could see her introduction into this franchise because there are so many characters from the Alice in Wonderland story that have yet to see their introduction into this. The Mad Hatter and Maddox Hatter is one way of looking at it. But when you look at all the underappreciated characters and sometimes forgotten characters in Disney World, there are so many characters that have yet to happen for Descendants. So I don't think we should really shut the door on them making Descendants movies because people will say forever. The reality of it is people will say forever they need to stop making Descendants movies, and I'm here to tell you, they don't. I can go on for hours talking about Descendants and zombies, which I do every day. And I'll do it again in my next zombies video, which is coming up next on this YouTube channel at some point today. The thing is, I just love talking about these franchises and showing them the respect they deserve. Because when you're criticizing franchises and not giving them much of a chance, it doesn't really say much about you or your YouTube channel or your content. I think that what really says the most about you and your content is how you present it. And one of the greatest challenges for a lot of YouTube creators out there is presenting content that is meaningful. Presenting content that really touches somebody's heart. And I think that if everybody presented content that touched somebody's heart for Descendants and Zombies, I think it would go further. And I think the reach for the videos would be far more incredible than what we're seeing for Descendants and Zombies, because these videos are ridiculous. And the variety of videos that you're finding on YouTube really aren't hitting you hard and hard enough. And I think that if more people did that, I think the respect would be given to Descendants and Zombies that it so utterly deserves. I really believe that there is a far greater appreciation for Descendants and Zombies, and it's really shown by the fans, because the fans really do trust in Descendants and Zombies characters. They really do see themselves through the eyes of their favorite Descendants characters. That's why they showed up in unison for the Worlds Collide Tour this summer. That's why they supported the Worlds Collide Tour the way they did. That's why they forever supported Descendants stars, because they see themselves in situations that these characters got up within from chapter to chapter, from moment to moment. And I had my favorite moments in Descendants history, like when Bridget debuted in the Descendants franchise. I was so excited. When I knew Ruby was going to be a part of the Descendants franchise, I was on board, and I was fully supportive of it. It's just a shame that her time with the Descendants franchise was very short-lived. I hope we do see Ruby again by Descendants 6. Hopefully there's a reason to go back in time. Maybe there will be a reason to go back in time for Descendants 5. Who knows? Maybe they're just saying they're taking the concept of time travel out of it to focus on present-day Wonderland. Who knows? But what we're getting what we're being ensured is that there's going to be something having to do with present-day Wonderland, the Kingdom Cup games, which I would have loved to have had something to do with, because it provides a lot of action scenes for Descendants. And I really appreciate the parkour and the training these girls had to undergo, because when you see the training regimens that Kylie Cantrell and Malia Baker had to undergo, it really gives you a greater appreciation for what they had to endure and the positions that they're in. I think that nobody would have been able to do it as effectively as what Kylie Cantrell did. Her ability to sing, her ability to be an actress and inspire so many people from all walks of life has been unbelievable, really a phenomenon overnight. And I'm excited to see where we go from here. I say this because I've watched Kylie Cantrell ever since the days of her YouTube channel with 500,000 subscribers in less than a year. That's amazing. That's an accomplishment in its own right. You know, when you can get 500,000 subscribers on a YouTube channel and really draw attention to you for some unexplained reasons, that's amazing. But Kylie Cantrell, all she ever wanted to do was sing and act. Ever since the age of 9, that's all she ever wanted to do. She wanted to be a part of her favorite franchises, High School Musical, Descendants. She remembered all the songs. She remembered all the lines from the Descendants movies. She was ready to go. So when Disney came knocking at her door for the opportunity to portray a character such as Red, which was ultimately going to be one of the most revered characters in the history of Descendants, she jumped at that opportunity, and she had the support. Not only did she have the support from her friends and her family, but she had the support from each and every one of us. And that is more than I can say for anybody, because Dove Cameron had support, but I don't think she ever had the support quite like Kylie Cantrell did. And she had so much support from each and every one of you, which I give you a profound amount of thanks for. because if not for you guys, Descendants wouldn't be in the position that it's in. It's not in the position it's in because of Jonathan Clarke and his crazy videos and his vision for Descendants. It's in the position it's in because of you and the amount of support that you've shown Descendants and Zombies from the very beginning. And I just want to say thank you from my heart to yours for just being so incredibly supportive of Descendants and Zombies and really getting it to the position that it's in. It's really in a position now to really make waves and take over. And it makes me even more excited about Descendants 5 with Wonderland happening this summer. I am really excited to see where these two franchises will go, both Descendants and Zombies. I know it's a long way away. 2028 seems like forever away. But that doesn't mean that we can't get there. And I'm really excited to see where we go from here because there's still so much of a story to be told for the Descendants and Zombies franchises, and I just want to shut down all these critics for making you believe stuff that really isn't necessary. Let me say that. My heart goes out to everybody who is a fan of Descendants and Zombies. I will be back later on this afternoon with another great video about either Descendants or Zombies, and I invite you to join me for it. Until then, I'm your host, Jonathan Clarke. Keep kindness in your heart, and we will talk again in just a few hours from now.